Yeah, so they say that love is a high frequency state and fear is a low frequency state, but what does this actually mean? High vibration, low vibration, what does this mean? To be honest, I don't think there are any concrete studies that have quantified the frequency of love and fear in humans. But despite this, I do believe that love is a high frequency state and fear is a low frequency because of observation. All right, so this is the way that I look at it. Take a look at how you feel when in a state of love and in a state of fear, energy-wise. Okay, you get tired faster in the negative state, and they've actually proven this because it literally takes more calories to be in negativity than in positivity, and the reason for that is because of calorie consumption. Fear, anger, and stress has the mind running 24/7, making up all these scenarios in your head, and that all takes calories. So people in a state of love tend to be calmer, tend to have less thoughts, and as such, a little more energy than their negative counterparts. But the comparisons don't stop there. There are literal physiological differences that occur when someone is in a state of love or fear. In a state of love, we feel a lot of physical energy. We feel clear-minded, calm, low stress, right? And studies show that this lack of cortisol and the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system allows the body to effectively repair itself. In other words, to bind itself once again. In chapter 23, I talk about love being a binding force. Anything that adds or compounds is an element or an expression of love as a force. So to be in the state of love allows the body to repair itself, to create itself once again. In a state of consistent fear, we have high cortisol outputs and the activation of the sympathetic nervous system, or the fight or flight response, right? We're on alert. And when in this fear state, for a long period of time, it can literally break down our physical self. It can increase inflammation, increase oxidative stress, and increase biological aging. In other words, unbind our being, undo our being. In this observation, we can clearly see how the different states affect our biology. And in this difference, we see the dichotomy between being in a state of love and in a state of fear. We can see that one state binds, balances, and repairs, while the other unbinds and induces physiological imbalances. Okay, so keep that in mind, because we're going to jump over to cymatics. So cymatics is the study of sound. And cymatics shows us that higher frequencies, when emitted over a plate of sand, right? I'm sure you guys have seen those videos. They have a clear plate of sand, play a tuning fork, and it creates a design on the sand. So cymatics shows us that higher frequencies, when emitted over this plate of sand, create highly complex structures, where low frequencies create simpler structures. Keep that in mind. So if your vessel is being broken down, that means your structure is being simplified. You are losing complexity. If your vessel is thriving and healing, it is because you are maintaining your complexity. So if a state of love has positive physiological effects, lowers our cortisol, activates the parasympathetic, and allows our bodies to heal, in other words, to maintain their complexity, then we can come to the conclusion that love is a high frequency state, because remember the sampling, the higher the frequency, the more complex the structure, and humans are pretty damn complex. So if fear has negative physiological effects, increases cortisol, increases oxidation, and advances aging, then our essence is being simplified. We can't maintain our complexity. Therefore, we can come to the conclusion that fear is a low frequency state. We literally begin to lose parts to account for the simplified form that the lower frequency is trying to turn us into. So with all this said, in order for us to actively create, we need to be in a state of creation. And as we can see, to be in a state of love, gratitude, fulfillment, certainty, confidence, happiness, calm, etc., a state where our bodies are able to effectively repair themselves, that in itself can be a good indicator that we are in a position to welcome even more creation.